Yo, what is going on everybody? It's Big Cat 188 and today I will be showing you guys how to play with King Arthur, the legend, the child of prophecy that grew up into the legendary king. I know that a lot of you guys do not know how to play with King Arthur, or if you do know how to play with King Arthur, you might not be too good with him, you know? So that's what I'm going to be showing you guys in today's video. I'm going to be talking about his abilities, I'm going to be talking about builds, and pretty much just how to play with him and how to actually get kills and be good with King Arthur. So before we begin with abilities and everything, I always want to cover the level order. Now I use this level order whether if I'm going into the jungle or if I'm going into the solo lane. So the way I do is I always start off with the 1, then I always get the 3, and then I always get the X right after. Obviously guys, like I always say, you get the ult whenever you can get the ult. For King Arthur, at least, you know, people like Ao Kwang, you might not have to do that. After that, I get the 1 until it gets to 3 level ups. Then I get the 3 until it gets to 3 level ups. Then I finish off this the 1. Then I finish off the 3. Then I finish off the 2. And then, you know, obviously you got the ult whenever you could get it. This video may be long or short. I'm not really too sure right now. But let's hurry this up and let's talk about the passive. This is probably the most important thing you need to know about King Arthur. So beginning with King Arthur's passive, in a nutshell, what this says is that anything dealing with your basic attack, any items that affect your basic attack such as Frostbane Hammer or like Hasten Katana will not affect your basic attack for King Arthur. So any items dealing with your basic attack will not affect him. And also what King Arthur's passive will do for attack speed, it will convert a percentage of that attack speed into more energy when you gain these stacks. Really, there's no point of getting any attack speed. I've tried a max attack speed build like just inside of jungle practice, and I really didn't see a significant difference in the amount of energy I gained. Now if you guys are like, what is the energy? Well, as you guys can see, that big Excalibur sword bar on the left hand side of my screen, I will circle it if you don't know what I'm talking about. That right there shows you your combo abilities, because King Arthur is kind of a stance switcher, not really a stance switcher, but every time he uses an ability, he immediately goes to the next comboed ability. So if I use my 1 right now, it switches bars to the next item. And as you can see under the Excalibur bar, it switched the abilities that are under it. Now what energy will do is every time you hit and every time you use an ability, it will gain energy. So as you see the bar on the sword, it is going up in energy. When I use an ability, bam, it goes up in energy. Other than that, what his passive will do is you can have 4 stacks, which each lasts 15 seconds. It will give you a 1.5 damage mitigation per stack, and it will also give you bonus energy per stack. So when you hit, you can just get your ultimate faster. That is the whole purpose of the energy gain, is for you to use your ultimate. As you can see, the ultimate is red out. It is red because you cannot use your ultimate until you gain enough energy. Now I will cover the ultimate in more detail later on. So let's begin with King Arthur's 1, his hamstring and his overhead slash. So I'm not even gonna read this because it doesn't really matter. So long story short, the hamstring is a big ass cone that will literally swipe the fuck out of everybody in the area. I'm sorry for my language, but look at this, bam, like look at the area of effect. It's like half circle right there. It's like a 180 circle right there, and it will hit everybody in that area. It does a lot of damage. The thing you need to know about your 1, it is pretty much your heaviest hitter in your arsenal next to your circle. The other part is the overhead slash, and it's pretty much a big slash that is a line attack, and it has a pretty decent range. As you can tell, you can hit people from very, very far. That is everything about his 1 that you need to know. Oh, also that his hamstring does crippling damage. It will cripple the enemy. So bam, it will cripple the enemy. And you guys already know that crippling abilities in this game are completely broken, such as Bakasura's ultimate or Cupid's ultimate, which silences and cripples you. Or not silences you, it cripples you. Cripples are pretty annoying because you cannot move out of them. So you know, that's pretty much just another way of stopping the enemy from using a getaway so you can kill them. On to King Arthur's 2nd ability, his battle stomp and his uppercut. The thing to know about his battle stomp, which is probably the more important thing, is that it slows. So at max level, his battle stomp becomes a 40% slow for the enemy. It is a big circle area, so it has a big radius. It will hit both of these Odins right here. And the other part of it is the uppercut, which literally what it is, it is a uppercut. Now, if I'm going to take anything away from the two, it is that they're pretty much the CC of your kit. They're not there for too much damage. Yes, they can kill. Yes, they can finish the enemy off if they're just at the right range or whatever, but they're mainly there for CC when you're fighting people, to slow them down, and then maybe call in your square or your one or whatever and finish them off or something like that. So slow them down is to CC. Now on to King Arthur's third and final regular ability. You have Twin Cleave and you have Blade Storm. Now this ability is a little bit more important than the other ones, only because the Twin Cleave does Protection Shred, which I'm pretty sure that means physical and magical. I thought it was first just physical, but clearly it's both. So any of your teammates that are nearby and they're magic based, they will be doing more damage because of that Protection Shred if they get hit with the Twin Cleave. Now the thing about the Twin Cleave, it is more like a dash. So this is what it looks like, just like that. I think it has about 4 hits total. You can see like the little thing under their feet when they're affected by it. It will do Protection Shred, and the other part is the Blade Storm, which is probably the most annoying ability that he has, just because it just does so much damage, and that final hit right there does the majority of the damage. So as you can see, the regular spin damage is 90 and the final damage does all the big hits. So it says like they're 230. I have no items on, so that's why it's not any plus anything. So bam, we got the Twin Cleave, and bam, we got the final hit right here, right there, boom. And that is what does the majority of the damage on King Arthur's circle, his 3. Just covering all of these abilities, if there's one thing I need to say is that, like I told you guys before, every time he calls in an ability, he absolutely switches stances. There's no way of getting around it. He switches to the combo right after. So if you guys know what the opposite side, what the other combo abilities are for each of your 1, 2, and 3, you guys can combo these up perfectly, and you guys can use them to in the right times to get kills or to get away or whatever you need to do. Now, before I talk about the ultimate, the one thing I do need to mention is King Arthur's basic attack. Since he is not affected by attack speed or anything, his basic attack is actually better than most people might think. You're probably like, oh, his basic attack's probably trash. No, King Arthur probably has one of the best basic attacks because his basic attack is kind of a gap closer. Now look at his basic attack. Look at the lunge on it. Look at the lunge on King Arthur's basic attack. That is absolutely insane. Every other character, you're not doing that. You're just going to be standing in place and just swinging. But King Arthur, no. The young blood is going to be lunging towards you and fucking you up with the Excalibur. That is just how he is. His basic attack is beautiful. I've actually used his basic attacks to get away if I get slowed or something. I'm sitting here swinging away from the enemy because it's a lunge, bro. It's beautiful. Alright, now on to King Arthur's ultimate ability. As you guys can see currently right now in the beginning of the video, my ultimate was red. It was X'd out pretty much. I could not use it because I did not have enough energy. As I said before, every time you use an ability or hit with a basic attack, you gain energy. Now, as you guys just saw, that my ultimate went from the blue version to the Excalibur's Wrath, which is the orange version. When you get it to the top bar at the very top of like the Excalibur, as you see where it's at the line, I really don't know what's the point of filling up the bar. I think he just does more hits. I don't think he does more damage, so I'm not really too sure. It doesn't say anything about it inside of the ultimate description. I'm just pretty sure that it just I don't even think he does more hits. I really don't know the point of it. I really don't. I don't know what to tell you. I guess it's just a way of like having a little bit of wiggle room, because if you call in his ult right now, it will completely drain his energy bar. But if you do fill it up all the way, you will have just like a little bit of energy left. So when you start hitting and stuff again, it'll take less hits to get your bar filled up for your ultimate. The one thing to note about his ultimate though, real quick, is that Excalibur's Wrath actually takes away a percentage of their health. It takes away 13% of their health on the land, and while it's swinging, it'll take away 2%, which is just completely just broken. I don't know why they have that there, because that is what makes King Arthur's ultimate so broken. Because once you start building very specific items, especially with my build, you will damn near full health somebody with your Excalibur's Wrath. Now the other part is the Sundering Strike, which is the first part. It requires way less energy than Excalibur's Wrath, but it is very useful. It is a line attack and it will stun. So first thing I'm going to show you guys is Excalibur's Wrath, and that is this right here, and he's pretty much just bodying Odin right now. That is Excalibur's Wrath. The cooldown on the ult is not very long, but the thing is you have to get your energy back. So once I start hitting and stuff again, my energy will start to gain, and boom, I'm going to get my ultimate back. And now I have the first part of the ultimate. When you do not have enough energy to call in Excalibur's Wrath, you have the Sundering Strike, which will do a lunge damage almost like your overhead slash like this, but instead it will stun any enemies that are within that line. So if I call it in on these Odins over here, it will stun all of these Odins right here just like this. All of them get stunned, and that is pretty much his ultimate ability. All right guys, so now we're going to move on to the builds of King Arthur. Now personally, I rock a full damage build. I no longer rock a tanky build, only because being a tank doesn't mean shit if you do no damage. I don't really like the bruiser style. I'm just gonna be full damage because King Arthur has a lot of health once you level him all the way up. So with the build, I have around like 2400 health. I could have some sustain, but honestly, I do so much damage, I'm probably gonna kill pretty much everybody before they even fuck with me. This is my custom build. I used to use a lot of these items on the right side, like the sledge and all that. The sledge is very good, but I no longer use any of these anymore. I don't care about the crowd control reduction, none of that. I don't care anymore. What I now do is I always start off with Soul Eater, because Soul Eater allows my abilities to now heal me, and it's absolutely beautiful because the lifesteal on the abilities are freaking broken. It literally saves your life, and it keeps you in the fight way longer because King Arthur does not have any type of life sustain inside of his kit. Obviously, if I'm going to start off in the solo lane, I'm going to start off with the Warrior's Blessing. If I'm going to start off in the jungle, I'm going to start off with the Assassin's Blessing. The first item I'm going to get is Soul Eater, like I just mentioned. The second item I always will get is Warrior's Tabby, just because honestly I could walk around with no boots. I've done it before, but I don't like it just because I'm just so slow. So I get Warrior's Tabby for the more damage. There's no point in getting any of these other ones except maybe Reinforced Grease if you prefer to be tanky. But like I just told you guys, I don't like to be tanky. If you guys like that, that's your preference, but I prefer a full damage King Arthur. It usually works out for me pretty much every time just because I'm just a killer. You guys will see why it works every time. Even if the enemy is extremely tanky, I'm going to show you guys why it will work every single time once you see the full build. Now, the third item I get, it really depends on how much gold I had farmed up when I go back to the fountain. I usually get Heartseeker or the Crusher. Now, just get either or, one of the two, depending on how much gold you have. The next item I'll get was, like I said, either the Crusher or Heartseeker, depending on which one I got first. Bam! So those are my first 4 items. The 5th item that I will get is Gladiator Shield. Now, if you guys do not realize what I'm doing in my build, my first item is my sustain, so I don't always have to keep teleporting back to the fountain and healing up. My second ability is my movement speed. I'm going to end up getting rid of it for the movement speed pot if we get that long into the game. And it also gives me a lot of physical power and some mana. Heartseeker. If you don't know what Heartseeker does, honestly, that's crazy because Heartseeker is absolutely broken, especially for an ability-based user such as King Arthur. Your abilities deal an additional 3% of their health, and the more physical power you have, it will scale up. So that is absolutely insane. On top of that, subsequent attacks of the same ability on the same target will do 75% bonus damage. So you know that the twin blade slash and the blade storm you know that's destroying folks. It is destroying them, absolutely taking away their entire health. So Heartseeker is going to give your abilities more damage. The Crusher, enemies hit by your damaging abilities take an additional 20 plus 15% of your physical power over the 2 seconds. That's going to make your abilities hit even harder. It gives you some physical attack penetration. You got Gladiator Shield. Once they drop below 50% health, is really just game over because all these 3 will be activated and you will completely destroy them. Now the 6th item, I'm really an asshole guys, I'm sorry, I am, but I put on Titan's Bane. If I show you guys my stats, you guys are gonna be like, what the hell Big Cat, why are you so fucking strong? Now look, I have max penetration. My base penetration is 15, but the Crusher, enemies hit by your damaging abilities take an additional oh what the hell, I'm reading the wrong ability, I'm sorry. Titan's Bane. Your first cast ability does 20% physical penetration. So I'm pretty much up to 60% penetration. So I'm up to 60% penetration on top of that. Remember that twin cleave shred 7% of their protection, guys. So I'm at 67% right now. And once I get rid of my boots, say the game lasts long enough, I get rid of my boots for the movement speed pot, bam, I'm getting rid of that. Guess what I'm about to put on right now? I'm an asshole, guys, because I don't care. The enemy team must die. They need to realize who the strongest on the map is, and that is me, King Arthur. I'm gonna put on Void Shield, and that is gonna give me an extra 15%. So what am I at, like 82%, something like that, 82% penetration. So pretty much, I don't care if you're a tank, you're going to die. You are not surviving. I don't care. Do not 1v1 King Arthur. You will die, you will lose. It's not even fair with my build. And yeah, this is what I'm rocking with in a full build. It does have a decent amount of physical protection, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't have any type of magical protection at all. But with this, and then you got Twin Cleave, you are at 82% penetration, and you are going to completely obliterate a target, bro. It is going to destroy them. And that is what I do with my King Arthur build, guys. If you guys want a more tanky build, I'm pretty sure they're out there, but put on Reinforced Greaves, the Sledge, maybe even Gauntlet of Thieves, just whatever you guys like to be tanky. But I'm gonna go full damage King Arthur. You guys do what you like. And if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit it with a like. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm Big Cat 188, and I'm out. Peace.